Oh yeah, yeah. I'm not the type of brother to play with. See a lot of people acting like, oh yeah. All ball players sounding like haters. We the young kings of this generation, oh yeah.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Pitchside with Parker. Today, I've got a very special video. We're getting to the end of 2020, and yes, it has been a terrible year on the whole, but there has been an unbelievable amount of soccer this year. I was thinking about what kind of year-end videos I could make, and I wanted to do a best 11 of 2020. This is just my opinion. So what I need y'all to do is, if you agree, if you disagree, if you think I snubbed somebody, put that in the comments. Smash the like on this video. That would mean a lot to me. That would be the best Christmas present you could give me. And yeah, it should be fun. It should spark some conversation. I already know there's going to be a couple picks that people will not be very happy with. But hey, it's my channel. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. Now quickly, if you're new around here, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, if you don't already, follow me on Twitter. I know I've been really inconsistent with the videos here on YouTube, but I post updates on a lot of the videos that I make or choose not to make. That type of stuff on Twitter, in addition to just, tweeting. And if you're thinking, oh, I wonder what he's thinking about that game, chances are I probably tweeted something about it, even if I didn't make the video. So follow at Parker K. Johnson. Link is in the description as well. And subscribe to the channel, man. We are still on that road to 250 subs. Slowly but surely, we're gonna get there. And I know it's been my fault for not making a lot of videos, but I promise if you subscribe and you stick around, there's a lot more good stuff to come. Just be patient. So before we get into the full 11, here is my criteria for how I selected things. This was only about this calendar year, 2020. So this is a team of the year, not team of the season, not team of last season. I'm only counting 2020 here. This is not an 11 of best players at each position. It's who had the best year. Some of those will also be best players at their position, but for me, it's what is your current form right now, and what did you do this year, and what did your team accomplish this year? And in some cases, what did your country accomplish this year? And any stats that I reference, I got from footballreference.com, which to me is the most reliable source for stats, even though it doesn't go back very far. The last few years are very reliable. So with all that said, let's get into it. We're gonna go back to front, and I'll start first with goalkeeper. Now, those who know me, those who've been around this channel for a while, you know that I was a goalkeeper once upon a time. This is a position that I put a lot of stock in. It's very important. And this was a tough decision because to me, there were not any clear standouts as who was the best goalkeeper on the planet this year. I think if you talk to 10 people, you might get 5 different names as to whom they thought was the best goalkeeper. But the man who gets the #1 shirt in my 2020 best 11, Emiliano Martinez. No, I'm not joking, okay? For real, if we talk about who had the best 2020, I dare you to name a better goalkeeper than Emiliano Martinez. He only played like 8 games in the Premier League last season, and he finished 4th in post-shot XG, which is essentially outperforming the chances that you'd be expected to save. He was best on a per 90 basis, and then that was just the second half of last season, in which he captured an FA Cup for Arsenal and was the goalkeeper during the Community Shield. So 2 trophies in a very short period of time for him. Then you look at this season, ever since he's moved to Aston Villa, he leads the league, as I'm recording this, in clean sheets. And again, he's in the top 5 in the Premier League in post-shot XG. To me, nobody has had a better 2020 than Emiliano Martinez in goal. The only other name I considered for this was Neuer, simply because, Bayern were the best team on the planet this season, and there will be a lot of Bayern players in the rest of this 11. But in the end, I just edged it to Martinez because I think when you're only counting this year, if you look at the performances and the circumstances, to me, he was more impressive. And he has dragged a Villa team that, don't forget, was a ghost VAR goal away from getting relegated last year, and turned them into the team with the most clean sheets this season. So for me, Emiliano Martinez is my goalkeeper. All right, on to the back line. I really don't think there's a whole lot of debate here, if I'm being honest, and primarily the back line is comprised of Liverpool players. So at left back, I have Andrew Robertson. At center back, Van Dijk. At right back, Trent. And then the other center back spot, for me, goes to Sergio Ramos. I think as far as Trent is concerned, to me, he's clearly the best right back in the world. He provides so much going forward for them. He's actually not even the best defender, but I just think at that position, if you're looking at who's had the most impact in 2020, it's got to be Trent. Virgil van Dijk, for me, is the best player on Liverpool. I think Mane and Salah are on his heels, but I actually think he is the single most talented player at Liverpool. And even though he's been injured for a lot of this current season, he was integral in them winning the title. And if I'm putting the best center backs from 2020 in my team, he's got to be on that team sheet. Ramos through the middle, I mean, this year, if no other, proved his importance to Real Madrid, because every time he was out for any extended period of time, Real Madrid has really, really struggled. Varane looks like one of the best center backs in the world when he's paired with Ramos, and as soon as Ramos is out, he turns into just a stumbling mess. Ramos also showed a lot of evolution this year in terms of his ability from set pieces, and he became their main penalty taker. And he just had a lot of evolution in his game. He even scored his 100th goal of his career, which for a center back is outrageous. He is world class. To me, it's between him and Van Dijk for best center back in the world. And those two easily get the spots in the middle for me. Left back was the only one where I had some debate. I considered putting Alphonso Davies in, but I think what tipped me over for Robertson is his accomplishments with Scotland this year. I think both he and Davies are great attacking threats. They helped their teams out a lot. They were both crucial to their team's success. But helping Scotland qualify for its first Euro and Robertson playing every single game with them, even within a crazy schedule that he already has for Liverpool, and I thought the work he put in this year was incredible. He helped his teams massively, and so Robertson is left back. Into the midfield we go, and this is where things get a little dicey. So the way I set it up, because I'm doing a 4-3-3, I wanted to pick one holding midfielder and two more attacking midfielders. So my holding midfielder is Joshua Kimmich. He is another player similar to Ramos, where since he's gone down for Bayern Munich, you can tell the impact that he left behind. He's the orchestrator of their press. He really just shouts out everything. He keeps the ball ticking. He has a lot of goals in his game as well. I mean, I think his chipped finish in Der Klassiker against Dortmund this year, which essentially sealed Bayern the title, that was a moment that really stood out for me in 2020. And obviously the defensive work he does is very impressive as well. He's just a phenomenal player, and I think somehow he is underrated, because for me this season he was the best defensive midfielder in the world, and there were a lot to choose from. I mean, there are a lot of good defensive midfielders out there. Kimmich for me was the cream of the crop this season. He was a huge reason why Bayern won everything that they did, and he easily slots into the number 6 in my 2020 best 11. Now for the two more attacking midfielder slots, there were 3 players that I was considering for these two, and I went back and forth a little bit. The one lock for me is Thomas Müller. Genuinely, I do not like Thomas Müller at all. I think he is one of the most annoying people to play professional soccer. His face is very punchable. I don't know, he just gets on my nerves. But you look at his production and you just can't deny how good he is. He had probably one of his best seasons of his entire career this year with Bayern, and it went completely under the radar. I think partly just because of how great the whole team was, and also because of the heroics of Lewandowski as well. But in the calendar year 2020, Thomas Müller has recorded 18 goals and 22 assists. Absolutely ridiculous numbers. I believe last season he broke the Bundesliga assist record, not all of which was in 2020 obviously, but still impressive nonetheless. And so I think, again, for his pivotal role in Bayern's success and for his incredible stats, he had to go in the team for me. The last attacking mid spot came down to 2 Premier League midfielders. At first, I felt like there's no way I couldn't include Kevin De Bruyne. He is probably my favorite midfielder in the world, and if you were to ask me who's the best midfielder in the world at this moment, I'd probably still say De Bruyne. But this list is about what you've done in 2020, and as I looked deeper into the stats, none other than Bruno Fernandes pips De Bruyne's spot in the team. Kevin De Bruyne, calendar year 2020, has 11 goals and 20 assists, not counting his performances for Belgium. Bruno, meanwhile, has 27 goals and 15 assists, not accounting his appearances for Portugal. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. Kevin De Bruyne, 31 goal contributions. Bruno, 42 goal contributions this calendar year. Absolutely outrageous for a midfielder. Yes, a lot of those were penalties. And I'm sure a lot of you will be surprised to hear me say this, because you've probably seen my Bruno Fernandes video, which received a whole lot of hate from the Bruno stands, I have to say. There are still people who go back to that video to this day and say, wow, you were wrong. Oh, wow, this didn't age well. Clearly, those people did not read the description or understand the point of the video, which is that you can make arguments for and against any player just about in the world. And in this case, I'm going to make an argument for Bruno because if you look at the year 2020, very few players have had the same influence on their team as he has with Manchester United. His stats back it up, and he's going to go ahead and overtake De Bruyne, and he will fill the final midfield spot. So the midfield three, Kimmich, Thomas Müller, and Bruno Fernandes. Last but not least, the forwards. We've got 3 spots to fill, and there's a lot of big names on the board. I'll start at left wing, and the player I'm putting there is Neymar. In calendar year 2020, Neymar has only played 26 games, which is a lot less than everybody else on this list, who for the most part have played at least 40. However, that was just because of Ligue 1's season ended up getting canceled, and he has had an injury here or there. But the reason Neymar makes this team for me is that he showed on multiple occasions during 2020 that he might be the best player on the planet. I know Ronaldo and Messi are still playing, I know. But the reality is, when we look at these 3 players, the one place where they are all on a level playing field is in the Champions League. Ronaldo and Messi both went out early this year, and Neymar's team got all the way to the final. And even with Mbappe out there, Neymar was consistently the best player on the pitch no matter who they were playing. It's followed through again this year in the early group stages of the Champions League. Neymar has had a couple of absolutely dominant performances, one against Manchester United recently. And to me, he has taken the pressure of knowing that there is a little bit of an open space with Messi and Ronaldo, and he staked his claim to say, you know what, I am just as good as these two, if not better this season. And for me, that's what impressed me the most about Neymar this year. I think he did his legacy a lot of good this year, and it was really fun to see him in a Champions League run without any injuries and with like a full team around him. To me, he did more than enough to deserve a spot in 2020's best 11. At center forward, to me, there's only one name you could pick this year, and it's Robert Lewandowski. I will not hear any arguments about it from anybody. I don't care. He just won FIFA Men's Best Player of the Year. He fully deserved it. He deserved to get a Ballon d'Or, but obviously that was canceled. I mean, the stats just are unworldly. Like, I can't even get these type of stats with players on my ultimate team in FIFA. In the calendar year 2020, Lewandowski scored 45 goals and had 13 assists in 40 games. More than a goal per game plus 13 assists. Just stupendous numbers. Like, some of the greats in history have not scored at the rate that he has this year. Bayern simply would not have won anything without him. There is nobody that can match his quality up top. And for all-out number 9s, he's the best striker in the world right now, and there's no debate. So he's got to be a lock in my 2020 best 11. The final spot in the team is the right wing position, and I'm giving it to Mohamed Salah. Salah's got 26 goals, 10 assists this calendar year in 43 appearances, all for Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool won the league earlier this season after Project Restart, and that is why so many of their players are in this team. And there's definitely some debate about whether he's even better than Mane, but I think the stats really speak for themselves. And again, it's about who's had the best 2020. Mane has been in a little bit of a drought in terms of goal scoring and assisting this season, at least compared to his very high standards. And really the only other players that could compete for this spot with Salah are maybe Heung-min Son or Messi, or maybe Ronaldo if you were to try to squeeze him in at right wing. But none of those players have had the team success that Salah had, and the way that he carried Liverpool at times in the past season, especially when Firmino wasn't scoring goals, and again here during this 2020-2021 season where Mane has gone a little bit more quiet, Salah has been the one omnipresent force in Liverpool. To me, he is fully deserving of a spot in the 2020 best 11. So that wraps it up. My 4-3-3 is Martinez in goal, Robertson, Ramos, Van Dijk, and Trent along the back line, Kimmich in the 6 with Bruno Fernandes and Thomas Müller ahead of him, and the front 3 of Neymar, Lewandowski, and Salah. Man, I would love to be able to play with this team in real life. What a team that would be. That is my 2020 best 11. Again, let me know in the comments. Are you mad that Messi and Ronaldo are not in this team? Are you mad about me picking Emi Martinez? Are you shook that I was willing to include Bruno Fernandes? Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know where I went wrong, what I got right, and what your 2020 best 11 would be. I thought this would be a fun video to round out the year. I hope everybody had a great Christmas, man. I don't know exactly when I'm going to put this video out. I hope y'all are well, however you may be celebrating. I hope you're doing it safely, and You're being smart. I just wish all the best for everybody going into the new year. I have a ton of goals as it relates to this channel, and a lot of those I feel like are going to be coming soon within the next month or two. So I know it's been slow with the videos. I apologize. Again, follow me with Twitter if you want to keep up with me, get updates on when I am and am not posting videos. But as I've said many times, I appreciate y'all so much. The people who have stuck with me, even when it's inconsistent and when all my videos seem to be Arsenal-centric. I know some of y'all probably don't really care very much, but I really appreciate the real ones who stick around through all of that. And if you're still watching to the end of this lengthy video, you are certainly one of those people, so thank you. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for me. Be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.